Hello guys, Sendo here again. So it's been a while since I last been making videos, but there was one topic that I want to kinda cover and maybe get a bit more back into making videos as well. So what we will talk about today is abilities. We will talk about 3 abilities in specific, and the topic of this video is to explain why they are niche, in the sense that I see people pick them, like I play solo, I go to solo, I see my team, I see what abilities they pick, and I'm like, well, do you really want to do that? Do you know what you're doing? That sort of thing. So, of course, you know, freedom of choice, you do you, but I'm gonna explain what I think. And all of these have their use, but it's very, very specific. So I don't know if people are aware of the specific reasons that these abilities are picked. And I think, just to get started, we have this one guy that got buffed last patch actually. So opening gambit. When would you use opening gambit? And there is very specific place where this ability actually is quite nice. So I'm not gonna go so much into details about what these abilities do. Like, you know, we have this cool website called Send.think. So if you don't know what the abilities are doing, then go Send.think, go to build analyzer, check what the abilities are doing. But opening gambit. So when should you use opening gambit? Because I see people sometimes make pretty wild pulls with this. But I can pretty much sum up this with one weapon, and maybe you guess the one that is coming here. So, this Splattershot Nova with the point sensor. And the reasoning for this is that you have the point sensor that is giving you quite easy assist. Like, you see Nova drop 20 bombs every time. And that's not really because they're out there like getting quads every minute. Well, it's just because you're just farming assist with the point sensor. And of course the abilities it gives you are natural fit for Nova as well. Like you get run speed, you get swim speed, intensify action, like these are all good for Nova. But you know, when you're playing it with, say, I don't know, any other weapon, like I see people play it with some wild things like Sploosh, for example. Like, yeah, you still benefit from the abilities, but are you really sure you can get consistently keep the ability up? Because if you go in, you die once, your team wipes, the ability is gone. Like, what did you do? Like, it didn't do anything. Likewise, you could play it with Rapid, for example. And there is nothing, I think, wrong with that in the sense that you could probably get quite a bit of assist with Rapid, an opening gambit. But, I mean, there are probably abilities you want more, right? Like, you don't benefit so much from run speed. Intensify action is okay, but I don't know. Personally, I would not like make it as part of my rapid build, but it could be worth experimenting. So the most important thing with this ability is that you get something that can generate some amount of assist. You know, like a weapon, where after you're done with the game, you watch your scoreboard and you're like, well, where did 20 kills come from? Like that sort of thing, because you're just getting free assist all the time. And point sensor, that's like probably what you want to look out for there. And there are some other cases too, like Skiffer, for example, with opening gambit. That's like worth a try. But yeah, for the other cases, I would probably be more avoiding this ability. And to go to other abilities here, we do have this one guy that is very popular because, like, when you look at it, like when you think about like someone who's new to the game, who just started playing, it sounds pretty cool. Like, fill special coach automatically if your team has fewer active players than the enemy. Like, when you think about it, like from a new player perspective, like it's your team is always throwing. Like, at least I get my crazy reef slider special with my aerospray. Like, that's just on its own good, right? Like, my team starts throwing, doesn't matter. I get my reef slider, I go there and I get a quad. Like, but let me say the reality doesn't really work this way. So if you like reef slider, then typically just put more, like, you know, put more special saver, like one more main of special saver. It's gonna get you more use. Like, the situations where tenacity is active and the amount of time is active and the amount of things it's doing is not that big. And the special special charge up, that's something that's active all the time. So most of the time, if you pick Tenacity, probably you want to add more special saver, special charge up to your build, rather than pick Tenacity. And now, the one use case for this is if you already went like all the way, not even this is not enough, but really like you have all the special stuff you want, and then we have the diminishing returns, so adding more and more special charge up in this case won't actually give you as much benefit. But in this case, you might consider that, okay, well, just so we can spam the special a bit more, we also put on the tenacity there, and this is typically with weapons like, say, Flingsa. Because then it might be that adding more special charge up won't really bring you as much benefit as tenacity does, even if the effect is not that big. But I would say it's quite rare that you want to do this, right? Like, I don't think you want, in this game, really to build your whole build around a special. Even with Flingsa, there are a bunch of abilities it benefits a lot from. So, if you feel like your build is gonna be all special charge up, then think about, like, am I playing the weapon to its full potential? Like, okay, sure, you spam a lot of missiles, but we know in this game it only does so much. So maybe you should like to pick some abilities that also allow you to use your main weapon more. So in the case of Flings, I mean, it's still like a one-hit kill and whatnot, and you know, paint's good amount. So maybe there's something there. Maybe you should be able to paint for a longer amount of time. Maybe you would want some swim speed for spacing, for example. But if after considering all that, and then you come to a conclusion that no, I just want to spam missiles. That's the only thing I want to do the whole game, is just to stay behind and spam missiles. And I don't judge, it's fun sometimes. Then yeah, maybe like some mix of special saver, not forgetting, I mean special charge up, not forgetting special saver, and then you combine it with tenacity. Might be the play for you. But otherwise, just don't bother with this ability. And for the last one, and I gotta say, in general, I feel like they have done a pretty good job with the ability balance in this game. Like, I really think there's only one of these that I would call like niche. The rest are more like, you know, they can be more specific, less specific, but they have done a pretty good job with the balance. But I think like one that I would still consider more like a niche, or like very definitely consider a niche ability, that I see people, especially new players, like this is like straight out of my like open games, this kind of build. Like tenacity, then you have the whatever, like shoes, and then the thermal ink that we're gonna talk about now. So first of all, just because this is not, the game does not really make it clear, right? Allows you to track distant players hit with shots from your main weapon. Like I don't, I mean, I think like it's not the best text, right? Because yeah, like when you hit them with the weapon, then yeah, it does track them when you actually hit them, but it doesn't consider splash damage. So I see people like think about this. I mean that's insane. Like I have my blaster here. So when I have my tenacity, I mean my thermal link here, and it's gonna get active when I splash someone, then I see where they go, and I'm gonna get second hit in. But like, if you play the game a bit more, you know it doesn't work that way. So it would only activate in directs that are most commonly gonna be killing the enemy anyway. So in that sense, again, doesn't bring much benefit. I think with blasters I see it the most, but even with shooters, like how often it happens, like basically a very specific thing needs to happen, and you're spending one main for this, right? So very specific sequence of things need to happen for this to actually be useful. Like you hit a couple shots, and then somehow like you break the line of sight to the enemy or whatnot, and that's not like so common to happen at all. So again, you're spending one main for it. I'm not saying it never happens, but I'm saying you will probably get more benefit from spending the 10 ability points or something else. Now, the exception is this beautiful weapon right here. I mean, with Plop, I think it's quite reasonable. Like, quite often you are hitting the enemy like, you know, you're like spamming a lot, right? And it's so easy to get hit by one of these Plop things. And you actually benefit from quite a bit from knowing where the enemy is located. So in that sense, with Blop, I would say like if you're using Thermal Ink and not using Blop, then probably something somewhere went wrong. But with Blop, I think it's a reasonable thing. If I'm feeling like playing Blop, I definitely use Thermal Ink. And that makes it niche, because it's really good on Blop, and then other weapons maybe not so much. So again, I think like the abilities can be fun, but you gotta think about it in a way that, okay, I'm giving up 10 ability points. Like 1/6 of the build I'm giving up, or even more than that. So in that sense, you really need to be not like thinking in your head that I have this very specific idea in my mind, it's gonna play out, I'm gonna get benefit from this ability. Like it's more, I'm more advised to think about like the situations you commonly face in the games, and then pick the abilities around those. So yeah, once again, this was 3 niche abilities. We had Tenacity, we had Thermalink, and then in the middle there we had the beautiful one, which is of course Opening Gambit. So yeah, hopefully this video was useful. Let me know if I'm dumb, like I don't know what I'm talking about. If you have like good tips for me to get more use out of Tenacity, then let me know. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video apologizing to the care building community, but otherwise hopefully you learn something. This is just my view. Hopefully the game keeps getting patched and we could maybe see more use out of these abilities, but right now that's I think my view on these abilities. So I don't think I have much more to say, so thanks for watching and hope to see you next time.